Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Brian's Horror Corner, or welcome if you are new. And this is videos for the documentary Hail to the Deadites that I decided to watch and review. Put up a short review since I'm in the middle of the Evil Dead franchise here. I've watched and reviewed all 5 movies. Those reviews are up on my channel. Of course, I have a ranking video coming up in a couple days. So I thought I would sandwich in between there my thoughts and reaction and review to this Hail to the Deadites documentary, which is currently on Shudder. That's where I had it saved for a while now, and finally watched it as part of this franchise series. I don't know where else you can stream it. I'm sure you can find it around, but it is called Hail to the Deadites. It came out in 2020, and it was directed by Steve Villeneuve. Steve Villeneuve. It's 79 minutes long. So I just thought I'd get into some of the highlights and lowlights. No, it's mostly highlights of this documentary. It's basically a documentary based entirely on the diehard fans, the diehard Evil Dead fans, particularly focusing on the first 3 movies, the Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness. It does have a mention of the 2013 remake of Evil Dead as well. But it's focusing on the trilogy basically, and I thought it was a pretty good trilogy. It doesn't talk as much about the movies. It focuses on the fans from all over the world. Fans throughout the United States, from Canada, the UK, and sort of their experiences and how they got to be as big of Evil Dead fans as they are, where they're at now. I thought it was a pretty well done documentary, frankly. It had some of the highlights. It highlighted one of the convention sites that I just went to a horror convention at a little while ago. They actually showed like the inside of it. Not when I was there, of course. This is from 2019 or something. So this was like 4 years before I was there. But I recognized the interiors and stuff. So that was kind of cool to see. But yeah, a lot of horror conventions, a lot of different Comic Cons where Bruce Campbell was attending, or the cast and some of the crew. The special effects guy was highly, the FX guy or the special effects guy was highly involved in this documentary, especially the first half. And they have interviews with him throughout the documentary, and you see him at these horror cons meeting these fans and stuff. So there's some pretty good stories there. The ones that really stood out to me was, there was a couple that ended up meeting and dating through their love of horror movies and their love of Evil Dead, and they end up getting married. And part of that was this guy, I forget his name, I didn't write it down, but the special effects guy that goes to a lot of these conventions. He basically helped with the proposal as far as pulling props from the Evil Dead, and then the ring popping up, and then this guy asked her to marry her. Now, what's funny about it is, they give a little blurb for all the fans that you meet, and as far as like where they're at now and stuff. And unfortunately, this couple only lasted a year, and then they got divorced after they got married. So that kind of soured the whole part of that documentary a little bit, knowing that they didn't last very long. But it did say that they both found love with other people. So I'm not sure really what happened there, but that was just kind of an interesting thing. And then the other one that really stood out to me was, there's a guy that had the guy and his wife had a baby who had like an arrhythmia or a heart condition, a heart valve condition or something. And unfortunately, they ended up losing this baby after like 7 or 8 months. But they named him Ash because of Ash Williams from The Evil Dead, played by Bruce Campbell. And he talks about how this baby fought like hell, the same way that Ash did in The Evil Dead movie. So this guy took a lot of strength from that, basically, and then he ended up writing a letter and sharing that with Bruce Campbell. Or actually, he met Bruce Campbell towards the end of this documentary. They gave a little blurb about their exchange, and Bruce Campbell saying, "Well, you're the tough one, having to deal with that and things." So that was just kind of a touching little story there that I thought was interesting. Kind of sad, but also the fact that he drew strength and from the Evil Dead movies, and Bruce Campbell's portrayal as Ash by naming his son Ash, who had to fight for his life and ultimately lost it, but still He even said, like, after he was brain dead, after his last surgery, he still was technically alive for like 15 minutes after that, and the doctors didn't expect him to be hold on that long. So I don't know. That was just kind of an interesting little thing. But overall, yeah, the documentary was pretty good, I thought. It doesn't talk too much about the making of the movies or anything. It's all about the fan experiences, the convention sites, and the fan experiences and stuff. But you do get interviews with Bruce Campbell and the gals from the original Evil Dead movie, a couple of the gals from Evil Dead 2. As you see them at these different horror conventions around 2018, 1920, that's about the time that this documentary was made. But as far as a rating goes, like I do with my movies, I'll give this a 7.5 out of 10. It's not the best documentary I've ever seen, but for only being 79 minutes, a nice time efficient little documentary that talks about how far some of the fans go in terms of their cosplaying and their collecting of movies and merchandise. Some of the fans have like 5 or 6 copies of the same movie. Some of them they leave wrapped up and stuff, which I find interesting. I'm a collector of horror movies, but it's really more from a YouTube review experience. I'm not so much like a diehard collector, even though I am a big Evil Dead fan of the franchise. But it's just kind of interesting to see how far people go in a, you know. But yeah, with that said, 7.5 out of 10. I would definitely recommend checking it out if you have some time. It's not going to hurt. I mean, I wouldn't rush out and buy it or anything. And like I said, I'm sure you can find it on other streaming services or other platforms. It's called Hail to the Deadites. All about, like I said, diehard Evil Dead fans and their interactions at horror conventions and things like that, and their story, basically. So with that being said, please like this video, hit the little notification bell, and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my upcoming reviews. Well, only one more video for this franchise review, which is my ranking video of the franchise. But also what I have coming up the rest of the year, including the month of May. You're not going to want to miss it, so be sure to like and subscribe. And comment down below any other additional questions you might have about this convention that I didn't cover. But I thought, or this documentary, I thought it was a pretty good documentary though overall. So with that being said, I hope everybody's doing well. And as always, stay scared. Bye.